Hey, beautiful women, welcome back for day 2 of Magnetic Money. If you're watching the replay, pop replay down below. And as you jump on, say hi. Let me know where you're tuning in from today. So excited to come on and help you go a bit deeper today. We'll just wait for a couple of people to jump on. Hopefully there's some beautiful women joining me today. Where are you? So exciting. Hey, Sammy, how are you? So nice to see you here. And thank you so much for everyone that did turn up yesterday and brought your energy, and for all those beautiful women that shared their homework and connected to their truth. It was so awesome to see you all connecting to your purpose. Hey, Jamila. Hey, Courtney. Awesome. Welcome this morning for day 2. Yvonne, how are you? So exciting to see people here. Okay, day two. Awesome. So, like I said, welcome. Yesterday we talked about connecting to your truth and connecting to your truth and your worthiness, right? It all comes from within. So today we're going to be talking about beliefs and resistance, right? So awesome. Aisha, Michelle, how are you? Good morning. And as you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming from. Say hi. Let's keep the energy up. Like I said, I feed off of you guys. If I sit here and talk to myself and no one reacts, I'm like, uh-oh. So, keep reacting, join in kind of the conversation. Let me know if it's making sense, ask any questions. That's all cool. Hey, Judy, how are you? Hey, Courtney. All right, beautiful. So today we are going, so who is excited, first of all? Who's excited to go a bit deeper on this? Who kind of got something out of yesterday but is excited to go a bit deeper and to learn how you can really blow up your business? Learn how you can scale to 5-figure months, 10K months, 20K months, whatever you want it to be. Who is excited to go deeper and to learn how to make their business explode? Give me a yes, give me some love. Let me know, are you excited to grow this, to expand this, to kind of really tap into what it takes to explode your business? Heck yes. Yvonne, you're already doing it, girlfriend. Awesome. Thank you. Awesome. Cool. I love it. I love that there are people from all over. I love that. All over the world. Absolutely love that. God, I love social media for that. Don't you love that? That you can just connect with people. Like we've got San Diego, we've got Nelson Bay. I know we've got California as well. How beautiful. Singapore. Awesome. Okay, cool. So we are going to go a bit deeper. But so like I said to you yesterday, right, I'm not going to teach you, like I said, a messenger strategy, an organic content writing strategy, how to build a great funnel. I'm not going to teach you any of that because that is not the key to success in your business, right? The key to success in your business all starts in here. It's not about the action that you're taking. Yes, you have to take some action, absolutely. But if we had to kind of break it up out of 100, right? Action is probably 20%, and energy and belief and worthiness and being true to yourself is 80%, right? We are magnetic. This is the thing. We are magnetic all the time. You can either be magnetic to clients and money, or you can repel them and you can be magnetic to lack of them. And we're going to talk a bit deeper about that, right? So you are always magnetic. It's just, what are you choosing? Hey, everyone. It's just, what are you choosing to be a magnet to, right? That's what we're going to kind of dig into a bit deeper today. So you always get, so we're going to start talking about beliefs, right? You always get what you expect. So if you expect people to say no to you, if you expect not to sign clients, if you expect business to be hard, then that is what you are a match to, right? The universe hears how you're feeling. It doesn't sort of hear the words you're saying. So if you're saying affirmations till you're blue in the face, it doesn't mean anything if you don't feel it, right? It's the emotions that are your guidance system. It's the emotions that are the fuel for your desires. So it's how you're feeling about things. So when you think about your business, if you are believing that it's going to be hard, then that is what will show up for you. If you believe business is easy, clients flow easily, then that is what shows up for you, right? You always get what you expect. And what a lot of people get trapped in, right? This is the biggest thing. And I was just on a client call this morning, actually, and we talked about this. What a lot of people get trapped in is that what has happened in the past means what is going to happen in the future, right? what is going to happen in the future. So many people stay stuck in this cycle of looking at what happened last month, over the last 6 months, over the last year, and they make it mean that that is what is going to happen in the future. And as long as you continue to focus on the past, you continue to recreate it, right? Because it's your focus, it's your emotion, it's your beliefs that keep creating. And look, I was stuck in this cycle too, right? And so what I was doing and what a lot of people tend to do is they tend to go, well, last month I didn't sign any clients. Okay. Is everyone back? Can you hear me now? Because I just lost Wi-Fi. So sorry, guys. Can you guys still hear me now? Am I back? Because I know it just, worst timing, right? It just kind of went, Wi-Fi is running low. Can you hear me? Let me know. Am I loud and clear now? Just might wait. Okay, it says some people are live, so I'm just gonna, yes, okay, cool. So sorry, the Wi-Fi just dropped out. I just do not know what's happening. So sorry about that. So what happens is a lot of people focus on the past and they make it mean that that is what's going to happen in the future. So if you focus on, okay, last month I didn't sign a client, last month I only made $1,000, therefore it means that next month or this month I can only make $1,000, then you recreate the same thing, right? You recreate it because what you're focusing on is what you're creating. What you believe is going to happen is what shows up for you. So the secret to having a quantum leap in your business, right, from going from wherever you are to say a 5K month and then a 10K month is shifting your belief about it happening, shifting your belief about the possibility. And here's the thing, I don't know why we get so caught up on the past, right? Because there was a time in your life when everything was new. There was a time in your life where you hadn't done everything that you're currently doing now. When you were born, right? You couldn't even roll over. You couldn't use your hands. You couldn't talk. You can't even see properly when you're born. You learnt everything, right? You learnt everything as you go. And so, if you think about, I love to relate it to, if you think about a child starting to walk, right? They sort of, obviously they start to crawl and then they start to stand up, right? They start to stand up and they get wobbly and then they fall down. And they stand up again, they get wobbly and they fall down. And then maybe they take one step and then they fall down. And the falling down and the standing up goes on for maybe 6 months, right? Before they actually walk. Now, let me ask, for those mothers out there, would you have ever said to your child, okay, no, you've tried that. You've been trying that month after month, day after day, week after week, and look, you're just not going to walk. You're just not a walker, right? You are just going to sit on your butt and crawl, for the rest of your life. You're not going to walk. Would you have ever said that to your child, right? I'm assuming it's going to be no. And so the thing is that what happens is, you stand up, you take a step, and eventually you walk, and then you freaking run, right? You freaking run, and the rest is history. Then you're skipping and jumping and cartwheeling and doing all sorts of things. But you go through a process of trying and not getting there, and then one day you do it, okay? Now, like I said, it comes down to your belief. That child doesn't for a second entertain the fact that I'm not going to walk. It feels like they are called to walk. They see everyone else around them walking and they're like, I'm going to do that too, right? I'm going to walk. I'm going to learn to walk. I'm getting a bit stronger every day. But you've got to hold the belief that because you didn't do it yesterday, right, it doesn't mean you can't do it today. You've got to let go of that. Because if you keep looking at the past, you keep recreating the past. The secret to taking a quantum leap is being able to go, my past does not define me. What am I choosing to create? What am I going to be a match for? Because whatever you're a match for is what's showing up in your life, right? So you need to get clarity on what you want first, right? That's the first thing. So if you're just like, oh yeah, I'm growing my business, you need to get absolute clarity on what you want. And the reason that you need to get clarity on it is so you can understand the resistance and the blocks. And we're going to go into that in a little bit, right? But so let me just look at my notes here. Okay. So because when you think about your desires coming, I'm sure that you're like I'm all in. Yes, I want to create that success. I want to create those months. I want to, I want to get the clients, all of that stuff. I'm sure your desire is like at a 10, right? Or like at 100, like you absolutely want to create it. But if you're not creating it, there's a part of you that doesn't want to create it, that's scared to create it, or that feels like they can't create it, right? So so what happens is when you're feeling like you can't do it, and this is what we touched on this yesterday, right? You tend to look at everyone else. You tend to look at what everyone else is doing, and you tend to look for answers outside of yourself, right? You tend to look at what other people are doing that are successful and going, okay, well, to be successful, I need to, build a funnel, or she's got a bigger following than me. So, and look, she's doing like Facebook Lives every day. I need to do that to be successful. Or, you better not cut out again. I'm so sorry. I don't know what's happening with the connection. You start to look at everyone else and you focus on needing to follow what everyone else is doing to be successful. So you disconnect from your own guidance. Because here's the thing, for whatever business you want to create, when you connect to your truth and when it's something that you feel passionate about, you will feel, and you're really connected and aligned with that, then you will feel the pulls, right? You will feel the pulls and you will be guided. But when you keep looking at other people and measuring yourself against other people, you make it mean that you're not enough, that you don't know enough, right? That you're not good enough as you are doing things in your own unique way. And this is what I'm really passionate about helping my clients with, is that you know the steps, like your highest self, your inner being knows the steps to your absolute most beautiful divine business, right? Your biggest desires, your inner being knows the right steps in how to create that. Excuse me. And so one of the things that I would do, and let me know if you can relate to this, right? Let me know if there's someone in particular or a couple of people in particular that you look at and you follow and you're like, shit, I need to do what she's doing, right? I need to do what they're doing. Look how well she does that. I need to do that. If I want to be successful, I need to do that. There's this other woman who was actually in my network marketing business, and then she went out and started a coaching business, and she's got a huge Instagram following, and she would do these live stories every day, right? She would do like these epic live stories every day. She'd be talking at the camera, and there'd be like 30 little stories, and she shared she's always sharing things about her life and just little anecdotes every day. And I would always look at her and I'd be like, if I want to be successful, like I'm going to have to do that, right? I'm going to have to show up more on Insta stories and be doing all these epic stories and I don't know, like doing that live every day. And that to me felt exhausting. It didn't feel like what I wanted to do. And so I created this story around, well, if that's what I want, if that's what I have to do to be successful, I don't think I can be successful. Has anyone else got someone else that they look to that they are comparing themselves to constantly and thinking, well, that's what she's doing to be successful, so that's what I need to do to be successful? Can anyone else relate to that, right? Is there someone or a couple of people in particular that you follow that you look at them and part of you is inspired by them, but a bigger part of you looks at them and it makes you feel bad about yourself, right? Is there anyone else who does that? Okay. Go and unfollow those people. Yeah, go and unfollow those people, right? That does not serve you. It does not serve you to be watching people that make you feel bad about yourself, right? Only follow the people that really inspire you, that you get something from, that you don't compare yourself to. And it is possible to have mentors and people that you can follow that inspire you, right? But don't be following the people. Go and unfollow them. Go and unfollow the people that make you feel bad, because you can do business in your own unique way. Maybe like Instagram stories isn't my thing. It's just not, at the moment, it's not my thing, right? I prefer Facebook. I love having a group. I like writing posts. Those are my things. I'm going to start a podcast next. Stay tuned for that. The other things that I feel called to do, right? I don't need to do what someone else is doing, and neither do you, right? You can build business in your own way, but it's learning to know that you're enough and trusting your intuitive guidance, right? It's trusting your intuitive guidance. So like I said, when you're looking at other people and you're comparing yourself to them, you're working out of an energy of business is hard, right? Business is hard, and there are all these other things that I need to be doing to create, right? Now, business is not hard. That's a bullshit story that we've been fed. It's a bullshit story that you need to work 50, 60, 100 hours a week to create an epic business. The people that do that are not aligned, right? So some people do that. Some people work 50, 60, 100 hours a week and do create success, but they're not aligned, right? They're not aligned. Oh, good. I'm glad someone's excited about a podcast. So you can create, once you're aligned with your business, right? Once you're aligned with what you want to do, you, like I said, you will be guided. Your intuition guides you, and we're going to talk about that. Your intuition guides you, and you are called to do the things that will be powerful for you. And they are not the same as someone else, which is why, like I said, the people that are out there telling you to be successful, you've got to do this, you've got to learn, be a great copywriter, or you have to have a funnel, or you've got to build a beautiful website with, I don't know, all the bells and whistles, or you've got to do paid ads. The people that, okay, yeah, some people love to work that much, maybe, but if you're working 100 hours a week, there are so many other things in your life you're missing out on, right? So I would argue that they're probably not aligned with a lot of other areas of their life. They're working so much to fill a void of perhaps not being enough in other areas of their life, right? Life's all about balance. It's all about balance. We weren't put on this planet it's about growth and expansion and balance. I don't believe we were put on this planet to just do one thing, right? We can do many things. We have many things that interest us and that we love. And I believe you should be able to do all of those things. And I'm passionate about helping people do all of those things. I don't want anyone working 100-hour weeks or even 50-hour weeks, right? You don't need to do that. Go out and enjoy your life with the extra time, right? Go out and enjoy your life. That's what it's about. When you're in alignment and you're enjoying your life, right? You're living your life, you're enjoying your life, you will get inspiration to do things that will lead to your success, right? That's so cute. I'm adorable. Thank you. All right. So let me know, who wants to work from a place of alignment? Who wants to have an aligned business rather than hustling and working super hard? Who wants to create 5-figure months, 10K months from a place of alignment and flow rather than hustle, right? Give me a hell yes if you are ready to work from alignment and flow rather than hustle. I want to know who is in for that. It's always a delay on these things. Me. Awesome. Yeah. Okay, cool. Awesome. Yes. Good. Because it doesn't have to be hard. One of the beliefs I used to hold on to, right? And this is a thing too. Okay, so your core beliefs were all established before the age of 7, right? Before the age of 7, we live in this unconscious state, right? So it's not until you reach 7 or 8 that your conscious mind actually develops. So before that time, awesome, everyone's in. That's good. Before that time, everyone knows children are like little sponges, right? They learn so much, they're absorbing so much. So children before the age of 7, they're like in a bit of a hypnotic state. They are being programmed all day, every day. And that's a really positive thing in many ways, because obviously they're watching and they're learning. They watch you talk, it's how they learn to talk. They watch you walk, it's how they learn to walk. If you're a polite person, you teach your children that's how they learn. If you've got some bad habits and you swear, your children will pick up that too. Before the age of 7, children aren't, their conscious part of their mind hasn't developed. So what that means is you can tell a child before, and I've used this analogy before, you can tell a child who's 4 years old or 5 years old who's never ridden a bike, you can say to that child, you can't ride a bike, right? You're not going to be able to ride a bike. Riding a bike's not for you. You can't ride a bike. And your child will be like, all right. If you talked to a 9-year-old who had never ridden a bike before and you said you can't ride a bike, they'd be like, well, but why? Why can't I ride a bike? My friend Johnny rides a bike, Sarah rides a bike, why can't I ride a bike? They've just developed that part of their brain that's conscious and they can think, they can kind of analyze things. Before the age of 7, people can't analyze things. Children can't analyze things. So what you say to children and what they see, what they absorb in their environment becomes who they are, becomes their core beliefs. And that's why when the work I do with clients and we clear out negative emotions, we rewire beliefs, we're always going back to a time before 7. because that's when it started. So if you've got this sense of unworthiness, and perhaps you keep attracting, let's say in relationships, you keep attracting partners that don't value you, there is something that happened in your childhood that caused a belief that you weren't worthy of love, or you didn't deserve to be treated in a certain way, right? And so all those core beliefs, everything you believe, came from before the age of 7. And so all the women out there that have children, especially under 7, start brainwashing them, right? In a good way. Tell them they're amazing. Tell them they can do anything. Tell them that they're incredible. Tell them all those positive things, because it literally becomes their wiring, right? I say to my daughter, I do lots of things with my daughter, like we do a gratitude practice every night where we say what we're grateful for. You know, if we talk about being, like sometimes she'll say, oh, isn't that pretty or isn't that beautiful? And I always say to her, what's more important than being beautiful? And I've taught her to say, it's your kind and loving heart, right? So I'm just programming her how, like I'm programming the sort of person I want her to be, or that, you know, I'm trying to give her the best, most empowered start in life. So I'm going a bit off tangent. But so my point was, right? Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Tell your 3-year-olds, absolutely. So many affirmations. It's so incredible, right? I'm going a bit off a tangent, but my point was that our core beliefs come from before the age of 7. So we often think that they are just the truth of who we are, right? But that's not the case. They were still a learned belief, and a belief is just a decision that you made at some point, and you can choose a new decision and you can rewire that. So one of the decisions, or one of the beliefs I had, was that you had to work hard for success, right? That you had to work hard for money. That was one of my fundamental beliefs, because I watched my dad work hard. He always worked so hard. He worked 6 days a week. He worked long hours. And so my belief was I always had to work hard. So when I started working, I came to Sydney to go to university, and I worked 3 jobs, right? And even all through university, I worked 3-4 days a week and did a full-time degree, right? I didn't have a social life. I just always had this belief that I had to work hard. When I started working full-time, I still had a second job I did on Saturdays, right? I always believed I had to work hard. And it's only been really in the last 12 months that I've let that go and realized that when you're in alignment, when things flow, it doesn't have to be hard, okay? So you can let go of that. Business is not hard. Success is not hard. Money is not hard. What comes into your world is what is an energetic match to what you believe, right? Yeah, lots of people would have watched their dad work hard, absolutely. So, but you can choose to release that. It's bullshit. You don't have to have that belief. Realize your beliefs are decisions that you make, and you can choose a new one. You choose a new story, right? And there are things you can do to rewire that, but choosing a new story is the first thing. Okay, so when we think about, so first of all, to be in total alignment, okay, so a lot of people, alignment gets thrown around a lot, right? Alignment gets thrown around a lot. So let me clarify when I'm talking about alignment, what I mean. So when I talk about alignment, if you want to create a 5K month, you need to be in alignment. All of you needs to be in alignment with that, which means all of you needs to believe it, be excited about it, trust that it's coming, feel safe to let that into your life. When you think about that desire, you should feel excited and expectant of that desire coming, right? That is alignment. Alignment isn't, so that's being in alignment with your business, right? With your business goals. So alignment isn't loving what you do, but being afraid to ask clients for the money, or being, or not believing that you're actually going to sign clients. That's not being aligned. So to work out whether you're aligned, right, and to quantum leap, to take these big leaps, you need to have absolute clarity on what you're trying to create. So it's not about one day I'm going to get there. It's about now I'm deciding it's done. I'm going to get there. Okay. And look, goals are a funny thing. I used to set goals a lot in my network marketing business, and month after month after month, I didn't reach them. I failed, and I would beat myself up. That was my cycle. Set a big goal, because I've always been ambitious, right? Set a big goal, fail, beat myself up, pick myself up, set another goal. But everything I was doing was from a place of lack and scarcity and hustle, right? I felt like I could outwork everyone else, and that was how I'd get to my goals. But I never did, right? Because my beliefs were, this is hard. I don't know if anyone's going to sign up. I don't know if anyone's going to buy from me. Ugh. better send out another 100 messages, right? That was the place I was working from. So what I want you to do now, but goals, let me just come back to this. So goals though, so we don't want to set goals. We're not setting goals for a purpose of setting ourselves up for failure. But the reason it's important to set goals when you learn how to align is that you can feel good, or you can think that you feel good about your business, but when you actually set a goal of creating something, of creating an outcome, it will show any resistance to that goal coming. Okay, so that's what we're trying to identify. We're trying to identify the resistance, which are the parts of you that aren't in alignment with that. So when we get clarity, you need to know exactly what you want to create. So if you think about, there's 2 weeks left of this month, right? What is something that you want to create in the next 2 weeks? Something expansive, something you haven't done before. This is how you quantum leap, right? It's not about doing what you did last month. It's about something expansive. So put in the comments, what is something expansive that would be exciting? What is something exciting that you would love to create in the next 2 weeks? Is it like 2 new clients or another 2K in your business, or whatever it is? What is something expansive you would love to create in the next 2 weeks? Drop it in the comments. Let me know. Come on, ladies. The little thing is so slow. All right. Anyone? Anyone want to create something in the next 2 weeks? If you're wanting to expand your business, if you're wanting to get to 10K months, you need to be able to, okay, launching my course. Cool. There's one thing. Okay, here we go. Create an FB group and grow my audience. I'd love to make $100 to $200 in my biz. 3 new customers. All right. Yes, let's keep it specific. Sign another team member. Isn't that this week, Yvonne? 2 more clients. In the next 2 weeks, my online group coaching course. What, to launch that, to get it out there? Like, what about that, Michelle? Like, what do you want to do with that? Is 20K too much if you haven't done it before? Nothing is too much. We're going to come to that. 10 new members. Okay, cool. All right, specific goals. I love it. In the next 2 weeks, right? Now, there is no limit to what you can create, right? Everything is energy, and whatever you are a match to is what you are calling into your life. So that's what I want you to get. Whatever you're a match to is what you're calling into your life. So if you've only created 1K, 2K months, in your life, or, in your business, then that's all you're a match to, right? That's all you're a match to. When you can match yourself up to creating 5K, 10K, whatever it is, 3 team members, that's good. When you match yourself up so that you're aligned with that, that is what you're calling in. That is what you will create, right? So when I really started doing this, I was kind of doing something else with my coaching when I kind of shifted into this niche, and I was like, okay, I'm going to sign on 3 clients for this new offer at a certain price, right? I was decided that's what I'm going to do. I decided it was 3, and I kept aligning, and I'm going to talk more about this, but I kept aligning to that process, okay? I kept aligning to that goal, and I signed 3 clients in 3 days. I'd never signed 3 clients in a month before, right? And I signed 3 in 3 days, okay? So that's how powerful it is, right? When I did my first 15K month, I decided that was what I was going to do, and I made 16K that month. I'd never made that before in my business, right? When I made that, the highest month I'd had was the month before, which was 5K, okay? And the month before that was $500, right? So this is the thing. I lined up with that goal, and I got into alignment. I truly believed it. I trusted it was coming, and it came. Okay, that is how this shit works. That is how manifestation works. So it's not about any magic process, right? It's not about writing things out 55 times. It's not about meditating or yoga or anything. There's no one process. It is about... No, that was in coaching that I got 3 clients in 3 days. It's not about any one process. It's just about aligning with your desires, right? Now, when I was, let me just make sure I don't go off completely off track. Okay, so what I want you to get is that when I first started my coaching business, I always had a desire to create clients, right? And I was showing up every day. Okay, so this is what changed. So I was showing up every day, and I was taking action. I was writing posts. I even did little workshops like this. I was doing lives. I was doing all of the things, right? I was doing all of the things. I was reaching out to people. I was doing all these things to find clients, to, you know, create clients. And I wasn't getting any results. I was not getting any results because I was taking action from a place of not believing it would coming, right? It was coming. I was believing that it wasn't coming. I was believing signing clients is hard. I was telling myself things like, what if no one buys from me? What if I can't help them have a transformation? Maybe I'm not good enough to do this. Maybe I haven't transformed as much as I should have. What else was I telling them? Like, you know, will they invest in this? Am I really cut out for this? I was working from that energy, right? So what happened? Okay, yeah. So what happened was that I changed that energy. Right? I changed that energy. I let go of all those bullshit beliefs and I chose a new story. And we're coming to this. I chose a new story. I chose something new I was going to believe. Rather than taking action from a place of, oh my God, am I good enough? Is anyone going to buy from me? I took action from a place of, fuck yes, my work is powerful. I know I'll be magnetic to my soul-aligned clients. And guess what happened? They came, right? It's not that I trusted the pulls, I trusted the intuition, but I wasn't really doing anything differently. I was doing a few posts, I was doing a couple of lives, I was sending a couple of messages. That stuff didn't change. I didn't learn any new formula. I changed my energy, right? That is what changes. That is the difference between you not doing anything and you doing a 5K month. It's all about your energy. So now what I want you to do, you've all got this desire that you want to create. Now I want you to just close your eyes if you can. I hope you're not driving. Wherever you are, close your eyes. And I just want you to tune into that desire happening in the next 2 weeks. A desire that's expansive, that desire you just thought of, what you really want to create in the next 2 weeks. I want you to really tune into that, right? And I want you to feel into that. And I just want you to notice what stories are coming up. What are the disempowering thoughts that are coming through your mind about the reasons why that won't happen, right? Are there any? Maybe there aren't. But are there any disempowering stories? Are there any negative thoughts about the reasons that that won't happen? And I want you to share them in the comments. Let me know what's come up for you. Now, if you don't have any resistant thoughts, if you don't have any negative thoughts, if you don't have any doubts, then that is freaking awesome. It is done. It is coming. It is yours. But tell me, did any of you have any negative thoughts, any little things that popped into your brain about why you couldn't do it or why you couldn't have it? I've got too short a time. Okay. All right. So you believe it takes a certain amount of time to create that much money. Okay. What else? Okay. What are the resistant thoughts that come up, Amanda? Share them, because the thing is, I've never done it before. Yep. But you never walked at one point in your life too, right? I'm not enough. Yeah. Okay. And the reason it's really powerful to share these with each other is because I promise you that everyone that's reading these is going, yes, I've had that thought too, because these are all so common, right? Yeah. People won't be interested in what I'm offering. Yes. Not enough time. Yes. Anything else? Not enough time. People won't be interested. What else was there? Hang on, let me just scroll through this. How am I going to do that if I haven't done it before? Yep. Yep. Makes me want to run away. Okay, don't do that. Okay, so what I want you to notice is that these thoughts, right? This is your resistance. This is your resistance, and you need to clean this up. Right? When you clean this up, you will get your desires. So this is your work. Every day, this is your work. Don't worry about writing any more posts, sending any more messages, or building your funnel or your website or any of this stuff. This is your work right here. These resistant thoughts are what's blocking your desires from coming, right? So if you think about it, need to do more marketing. Okay. Yeah, so these are just I just want you to identify that these are stories you're telling yourself, right? These are stories that you're telling yourself. Who says how much time it takes to create $20,000, right? I know people that create $20,000 in a day. So what are the stories you're telling yourself about how long it takes to create that? Or, need to do more marketing. Who told you that you need, like, what sort of marketing do you think you need to do? What story are you telling yourself around what you need to be doing? Not enough time. I'm not in the right energy right now. Yes, but that's what we need to shift, right? We need to shift that energy. It's not about time. Okay, I love sharing this little story. So a couple of months ago, I'd been doing this work. I was aligning. I was calling in what I wanted. So I was really aligned with drawing in new clients, right? So this is what I want you to get about how things happen, right? When you are aligned, your inner being or your higher self give you, you get guidance, right? You get guidance. And, when you trust that is how your business explodes. So let me just give you this little example. And we're going to talk more about really getting into the alignment tomorrow and taking aligned action. But okay, so I was aligned with calling in clients. I was scrolling through my Facebook notifications one day and I accidentally clicked on a notification, didn't mean to. I mean, I get hundreds of notifications. I clicked on one I didn't mean to, and it took me into this Facebook group that is all about building websites and funnels and things, right? Like, I'm in this group. I have a Kajabi website. It's just the platform, and I'm in their support group on Facebook. I never go in there, but I accidentally clicked on something that took me into that group. There was a post there by a woman, Carolyn, hello, if you're on or if you watch this later, about creating 10 to 20K months. She wrote a post and she was like, okay, I'm creating, I'm sitting somewhere between 10 and 20K months. I've got Facebook ads running. I've got funnels running. What do I need? Like, what else do I need? What do I need to look at? Right. And I just had this thought, write a comment about being in vibrational alignment. Right? I just had this instant thought to do that. And then I immediately second guessed myself and I jumped out of the group because like I said, I hadn't meant to clink in there anyways. Jumped out of the group and I was like, no. People are going to think I'm batshit crazy, right? Because she's not asking about any woo-woo stuff. She's not talking about law of attraction. She's talking about Facebook ads and funnels and like, what's the next thing to do? And then I stopped myself again and I was like, okay, why? I've just had the idea because I'm now tuned in to trusting my intuition. Why wouldn't I post that, right? Why wouldn't I make that comment? And the only reason is because there's a part of me, right? Because I'm not perfect. I have all these parts of me as well. There's a part of me that was afraid of what other people would think, that people would think I was batshit crazy, right? And go, what is this woman on about? She's not asking about vibrational alignment. What is she on about? So then I talked to that part of me. I talked to that, had this little conversation in my head. Well, who cares? Okay, so look, what if some people think I'm crazy? What does that matter? I've just had the intuition. I'm sorry, guys, I'm going to have to come back to so many of your comments. I see them flying past and it distracts me if I read them all, but I do appreciate it, right? And I will come back to them later. Let me get back to my train of thought. See, this is what it does. Okay, so like I said, I stopped myself, went, no, they'll think I'm crazy. And then I was talking to that part of me. I was like, okay, why wouldn't I do it? It's only because I'm fearful that some people might judge me and think I'm crazy. But I'm tuned into listening to my intuition. So I was like, you've had that idea for a reason, write it. Write it anyway. Who cares? What's the worst that's going to happen if some people in this Facebook group think I'm crazy? Who cares, right? I don't know any of them. They don't know me. Like, who cares if they think I'm crazy? So I did it anyway. Felt a bit uncomfortable, right? Because I was like, oh my God, maybe I'll get some haters. But did it anyway because I'd been guided to do it. It was an idea. It was intuition that came to me. And guess what? Totally resonated with her. She's like, oh my God, I love Abraham Hicks and law of attraction, blah, blah, blah. Reached out to me, had a conversation, got on a call. She's a client. Okay. Now, there is no amount of, effort or strategy that could have taught me to do that. Okay. It wasn't any system I followed. It was about being aligned with my desires and then trusting that intuition, right? So do you get how quickly something can come? You can literally be guided to do something that creates clients, that takes you to that next level, okay? But let's just talk about the resistance because I'm getting ahead of myself. So when you think about your desire, like I said, there's a part of you that really, really wants it, but there are all these other parts of you that are resistant to it. So there's a part of you that's not feeling like enough. And there's a part of you that's feeling like you don't have enough time. Okay. And there's probably some other parts there as well about your abilities to do things and whether or not you trust that it can happen for you. We have all these different parts of us. So releasing the resistance, right, cleaning it up is the first thing is to identify. You need to identify all these stories, all these beliefs that you've got going on, right? Because these are the things that are blocking your desires from coming. And when you release these, you will create like this. When you can go, okay, I'm creating 20K this month, and you can check in with all of the resistance. And when you set a new goal, there will be resistance, right? There is for me too. And every day I get up and I work on it. I have a process, and I teach my clients this process, right? Every day I get up and I clear the resistance. I clear that resistance. And then I'm lining up with my desires. I'm in alignment with my desires. So we get what we're a match to. If you want 20K is up here, and you've only ever had 2K, you need to shift your belief, right? Your belief, your expectancy, your energy of that coming to match that 20K. Okay. You can't get to 20K from a belief that will anyone buy from me? I don't know where I'm getting clients from. Am I good enough? Do I have the time? You can't get there from there. You need to sit in the energy of, oh my God, I'm freaking creating $20,000 this month. It's freaking epic. It feels exciting. I can't wait to work with some new people. Oh my God, I'm so exciting. This is happening. Okay, does that make sense? Does it make sense about the energy that you need to shift into, right? I'm going to talk about the resistance in a sec. Is that making sense? You've got to, you get whatever you expect. So when you expect it to be hard, when you expect to not have enough time, when you expect that you're not good enough, that is what's reflected back to you, right? I've got another client who is in network marketing. So for you girls in network marketing, you might relate to this. She had been in a business for 6 months. In fact, I think she was on earlier. She'd been in a business for 6 months and had not signed one team member, okay? Then we did some work together. We were working one-on-one. We did some work together, and she had a belief that, or had a fear around public speaking, about using her voice. And so that was stopping her from wanting to even get on calls with potentials. She also expected people to say no to her, right? So those were her things. They were a couple of the big things. She was afraid of talking publicly and using her voice, and she expected people to either not show up on calls or to say no to her. So guess what her results were? No freaking team members, right? People would not show up on calls, or people would say no. We cleared those things up. In the next 2 weeks, she signed 3 team members, right? She wasn't doing any new action. She was just shifting her energy. She released that fear, right? She released that fear of not being able to, not having that confidence, not being able to use her voice. And she then started believing that she was going to attract people that would say yes to her. And they did, right? They did. Okay. Yeah. So Amanda, it's all your beliefs, right? It's not the action you're taking. You don't need to work harder. You've got to shift this resistance. So first step is identifying that resistance. You need to check in and go, okay, and this is why, like I said, it's so important to set a goal, because sometimes we can think, oh yeah, I feel good about my business. I know when the time is right, it will blow up. That's BS, right? There is no right time. You create it, right? I truly believe you create it. Yes, there's some momentum. Yes, there's that sense of, there is that sense of momentum, right? So you need to believe something for a while for momentum to shift. But when you are aligned with your desires, things can happen fast. And that is how you take those quantum leaps. It's not about continually pushing your desire so far away, going, when I'm ready, when I have more time, when planets align, then I'll create 10K months. You need to decide that's what you want to do, and you need to shift your resistance around it, right? So the steps to do that, the first massive thing is you must identify what that resistance is, right? So this is the thing. You must set a goal so that you can tune into that and go, okay, how do I feel about that? Okay, when I think about signing 3 new team members in the next couple of weeks, or making 20,000 in the next 2 weeks, or launching my course in the next 2 weeks, how do I really feel about that? Do I believe it's going to happen? Do I trust it's going to happen? Do I feel worthy of it happening, right? That's a big one, right? How do I really feel about it happening? Okay. How do I really feel about it happening? Tune in with that. Yeah, it's all about aligning with it, right? So how do you really feel about that? Let all those fears and doubts and worries come up. Now, a great thing to do is to journal. I get all my clients journaling. So write it down, because when you write it down, you have, that train of thought, it flows more, right? Like if you're stuck in your head, you can have a million thoughts. When you write it down, the thoughts start to flow. So write it down. Write down all those fears and worries. And then it's about gently talking to that part of you and disproving it, right? Disproving that resistance that you have around it. Disproving that shitty belief that you're holding on to. Realize it's just a story, and realize that you don't have to choose that story. You can choose to focus on something else, right? You always have the choice. You always have 3 choices. Every day, all day, you have 3 choices. What you choose to focus on, the meaning you give to it, and what you choose to do about it. And most people just go around in a default mode, feeling shitty, letting the world influence their thoughts, thinking the worst, and you can change that. You can choose differently. Every day you can choose differently, right? So, for example, right, one of my shitty beliefs or stories I was telling myself was that I hadn't transformed as much as I would like, right? I still feel like I have work to do on myself. Okay, that was one of the things I felt like was holding me back, because I was like, well, I don't feel that I've transformed enough. How can I help anyone else transform if I feel like I still have shit to work out, right? Okay, so that was one of my doubts and worries. So talking to it, like I said, I use journaling to do this. Talking to that, go, okay, cool, yep. There is more work you could do. You could definitely transform more. But that's okay, because everyone's on a journey. Life's a journey. We all have shit to work through, and we're always going to have stuff to clear. As you go to another level, there'll be a new set of doubts and beliefs. And it's okay to still have work to do. Someone like Tony Robbins he has multiple coaches he works with. He accepts that he doesn't know everything. No one ever knows everything, right? And that we all have work to do. It's okay to still have work to do. I can still help someone from where I'm at right now. I can still help someone that is a few steps behind me, that isn't where I'm at, that hasn't transformed as much as I have, right? So I'm choosing to activate a new story that is more empowering. Okay, does that make sense? And I'm going to give you another example. So, okay, what if people don't have the money to pay me? Okay, that's a big one for people, right? People get stuck in this money game. So what if people don't have the money to pay me, right? So again, write down that worry, write that down, and then come to it and say, okay, what's the truth here? Okay, the truth is some people won't have the money to pay me. That's cool. They're not my people, right? I know my work is amazing. I'm going to connect with how I can change someone's life. I know that I can change someone's life. I have a gift that I can share, and I feel called to help transform people. And I know that the right people will be drawn to me, and the right people will have the money to pay me, right? I don't need to work with everyone. There's 6 billion people on the planet. I am calling in, and I'm choosing to attract the women the people that want this, that have the money to pay me. I don't need to convince anyone of my worth. I know my worth. I've done the work. I know my worth. I'm choosing to call in the clients that have money to pay me. All right? Which story sounds more empowering? People don't have money to pay me, or that other long one I said about, I know what my work is worth. I know that I can change people's lives. I know I will attract the right clients. You need to look up the definition of expert. It will change your perspective. Yeah, so, okay. So you need to trust that you have a beautiful gift to share, right? And that is enough. And that you will, and there are people out there looking for what you have and have the money to pay you, right? They have the money to pay you. And look, I'm not talking about money beliefs necessarily in this few days, but obviously if you've got beliefs around like disempowering beliefs around money, you need to go there first and work on those, right? You have to shift those. If you believe that you're not worthy of money, or you're not worthy of abundance, or that making money is hard, go to those, clean up those stories, right? Okay, cool. Like I said, when the comments come up, I'm like, I get a bit distracted, so I'll come back and answer any questions later. So does that make sense? Does that make sense? You need to identify all of your resistant, negative stories, all those limiting beliefs, all those doubts, all those worries around your desire coming, and then you need to gently talk to them to start to shift them. Does that make sense? Is that making sense, ladies? Okay. Yes? Is it making sense? So this is the work. This is the daily work, right? Don't skip over this. This is the key to blowing up your business. This is the secret, right? This is the secret. Uncover your resistance, those parts of you that aren't on board, those parts that don't believe it can happen, and shift them. Find, like I said, write them down, get them out. Don't just let them swim around in your head. Most people just go about their day, like I said, and they just keep stuck in these beliefs. Get them out on paper. And sometimes just getting them out and speaking them, right? Getting them out on paper helps to just, you write it down and you realize how bullshit crappy that is, right? And that you don't need to believe that. Sometimes just writing it down enough is enough to go, God, that's stupid. Why do I believe that? That's ridiculous. Sometimes you need to talk to that part of you and prove it wrong, disprove it, okay? So that's what this process is. It's about disproving that part. You know, what have I done in the past? What have I done before in the past that I believed I could do and didn't have resistance to? Something I always come back to, and I know I've shared this before, is I'd told myself this story for so many years, for all my life, that I couldn't run, right? I was never a runner. I was always like, I'm not a runner, I can't run. And so even when I started doing boot camps, like we had to do a 1K run as a warm-up, and I could never do that. I would walk half of it, my chest would hurt, and I'd be like, I can't run, I'm not a runner. I can do other things, give me some weights, whatever, but I cannot run. I've been telling myself that story. And then I was working with a personal trainer, and he was like, you know, you should sign up for a challenge, like the Tough Mudder, or I don't know if everyone's got something like that. It's like this stupid run where you run through mud. I shouldn't say stupid run, but I didn't want to do that. But then I decided to sign up for the City to Surf, which is running 14 kilometers. Okay, cool. Someone else remembers my running story. Sorry if it's repetitive, but it's powerful. And it's one of my most powerful stories that really helps me when I have moments where I don't believe, right? So I've been telling myself my life I wasn't a runner, and my personal trainer said, sign up for something, signed up for City to Surf 14 Ks of hills, right? Hills. Like there's one hill called Heartbreak Hill. It's 1.5 kilometers uphill. Most people, even if they're runners, tend to walk that part. Decided I was doing it. I decided, right? I want you to get this. I decided to tell myself a new story. I decided to just shelve that bullshit story that I wasn't a runner and tell myself a story. I've got fucking legs, right? I can walk. Running's just a bit faster than walking. Like, why can't I run? Like, honestly, why can't I run? Millions of other people on the planet, billions of other people on the planet can run. Why can't I run? That's a bullshit story, okay? That's a bullshit story. I can go to the gym, I can lift weights, I can do these other things, I can box, I did a lot of boxing. Like, I was pretty fit, but I wasn't running, right? And I just chose to tell myself a new story. I am going to run. So, making the decision, right? Choosing a new story is the most important thing. It's the most empowering part. Choose a new story. And then what did I do? I went, okay, what's the next step? Googled, like, I don't know, some running plans. How do I do this? I roped in some friends. I roped in about half a dozen friends, and every Saturday we met up at 8 o'clock and we went for a little run. Now, you know, this was a struggle at the start, and my first goal was to run one lap of Centennial Park, which is a bit like Central Park in New York. It's 3.5 kilometers around. My first goal was just to run that, no matter how slowly. I'd never run that far before without stopping, right? So that was my first challenge, run that without stopping. Okay, guess what? I did it. I was slow. Maybe my running technique wasn't that good, but I managed to move my legs and keep going at a pace that was above walking, and I did it. And then the rest is history, right? So every week we showed up. I went, okay, my goal is to try and do, I think I did 3 runs a week. And I don't know, I don't know how many months, if it was 6 months out, or I think it was 6 months out, or maybe it was 3 months out. I don't know. It was a few months out that I started training, and I ran every week. And so few weeks before, the month before the City to Surf, I was pretty much running half the course, 12 kilometers with hills every week without stopping, right? City to Surf came, I ran it, I smashed it, I did it under 80 minutes, which is pretty good. Didn't walk at all on Heartbreak Hill because I'd been running Heartbreak Hill every week, right? I'd been running it. I was running slowly, but I was still running. And the thing is that the biggest thing that changed was telling myself a new story around what was possible, right? So just because I hadn't run before, just because I'd gone through 30 plus years or something around that of not running, it didn't mean I couldn't choose a new story. So just because you've been not making money in your business for the last however long, that does not define your future. You have the power to choose a new story and shift any bullshit that you've been telling yourself around why you can't have it. I hope that makes sense. It all comes down to those decisions, right? And like I said, beliefs are just the decisions, that they're just the stories that you're telling yourself, and you absolutely can choose to tell a new one. And cleaning up that resistance is just identifying it and then disproving it. Like I said, I mean, the story that I wasn't a runner, really, what was that based on? Like I said, I had legs, I could walk, I was fit, other people in the world can run. What was the thing? What was the thing that made it true that I wasn't a runner? There was nothing. It was just bullshit, right? It was just a story that I'd told myself that I was believing. So that's what I want you to get. The stories you're telling yourself are just bullshit stories that you've chosen to believe, and you can choose not to believe them. You can choose right now. In the next 2 weeks, I'm creating whatever you wrote down. Go to work on cleaning up that resistance, identify that resistance. The thing is, Dolores, it's not a miracle, right? It's just like, I mean, it's not a miracle. It's just shifting your belief about what's possible, right? That's all it is. And you will get whatever you're an energetic match to. So when I decided that I was going to run, there wasn't any part of me, like once I make up my mind, I'm like, that's it. Once I made that powerful decision, my actions changed. Everything in my being went towards what are the things I need to do to make it happen, right? It's like, I'm going to have to commit to a certain number of runs a week, no matter what. I thought if I rope some friends in, if I've got some people to meet and do it with, it'll make it more fun, right? Because I chose that decision, I was aligned with that happening. I called into my existence things that would help me. And having those friends to run with was a massive part of it. We would meet every Saturday, would go for a run, then we'd have breakfast afterwards. It was like a social thing. So even if I wasn't going out and drinking on the Friday night, I knew that I had like a fun thing to look forward to in the morning. It was powerful, right? But the decision happened first. And that's all it is. You deciding what you want and you lining up with it. You lining up your beliefs with it. When you are all in, you will be led to the things to create it. Always, right? You always get what you're a match to. So whatever story you've been telling yourself, whatever income you've been earning, it's what you're a match to right now, but you can choose to change that today, right? And I'd love you to share what you create in the next 2 weeks. But tomorrow we are going to go even deeper and just talk about that aligned action and really bring it all together, right? Bring all the steps together and really cement it for you so you get what you need to do to skyrocket your business. Sound good? Who is excited to start blowing up their business? Who is excited to start having those 5-figure months? Give me a hell yes, ladies. Show me some love. Who is excited to create that, right? You can all create it. There is not one of you that it's not possible for. All those stories you wrote in the comments, I'm sorry to be the one to tell you, but they're all bullshit. You're enough. you have enough time, right? Because it doesn't take a lot of time. It takes alignment, right? It takes alignment. Freaking awesome. So excited. Okay. So today I'm giving away another little prize. So thank you to all the beautiful women that wrote all the homework in. I saw there's a couple more that I haven't read, but thank you so much. You know, like I said, it's for you. It's not for me, right? I do the work. I do the work daily. Awesome. So excited. Everyone's ready to do it. Awesome. The homework is for you to help you connect to your truth and you to connect to your worthiness. And I'm going to pop another little homework in today, and I'll be giving another prize away tomorrow. But today I'm giving away 2 of my favorite books that have really, really helped me. One, it was only a recent book actually, a book called The Magician's Way by William Whitecloud. It's an amazing story of manifestation. I love it. It was awesome. I'm going to read it again actually. And the other one is Money and the Law of Attraction by Esther Hicks. I'm assuming you all know who Abraham Hicks is, but if you don't, check out Jerry and Esther Hicks or Abraham Hicks, same thing. Those 2 books have, really made an impact on me. And so I'm giving those away to one person that did the homework yesterday, Nancy Slavitt. I'm not sure if she's on now, but congratulations. I will be ordering those books and sending them to you wherever you are in the world. But they are awesome books, and I really recommend to everyone, if you haven't read them, go and read them. They are incredible books. Okay, awesome. So I'm so excited. Like I said, day 3. Day 3 is going to be epic. We are going to, Magician's Way. It's amazing. A friend recommended it to me and I loved it. It's a story about manifestation, right? It's really, really powerful. Yes. Okay, awesome. So day 3 is going to bring it all together, right? We're going to go deeper. We're going to tie it all together and really map out those steps. And there's going to be a gift for everyone at the end. So stay tuned for tomorrow. I'm going to pop the homework post again in this group, and then pop your homework in the comments and I'll choose a prize winner from that. And then, like I said, there'll be a special gift for everyone at the end. But we're going to go deeper. We're going to go a bit deeper. And like I said, we're going to bring it all together and put together the missing pieces so that you can blow up your business. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So excited. Thank you so much for joining me. And I'm sorry about the glitches when I totally bombed out. I have to just go on data tomorrow and get rid of the Wi-Fi altogether. Thank you, beautiful women. So excited for you all and to hear what you create too. And if anyone has any questions, pop them in the comments or just reach out and PM me, right? I'm so happy to chat to anyone. Take care, and I will see you all tomorrow for day 3. Bye for now, ladies.